Tall blacks have a physical characteristics that are different from the grays. Their coloration is like that of the black mantis insectoid beings. Some believe the tall blacks are hybrid versions of the black mantis. With information collected, they also believe the females are the dominant ones in their species. Here are some alleged encounters. I walked into a room and there were several beings who had black skin. They were all females. They were lined up behind one another, facing the front wall, and they arranged themselves according to their height. The being at the head of the line was the tallest, and she had to be 7 feet. All the quite thin and very long legs and arms that were longer than ours. I noticed when they moved, they had an extra joint in them. Where we have a hand, wrist, elbow, and shoulder, they had an extra bone in between where our wrist and elbow are located. It was very interesting to see this. Also, their joints seemed to be more defined than ours. Perhaps their skin was thinner and their joints were larger. Anyway, their joints were quite pronounced and they reminded me of a manatee's being I have seen before. As I walked into the room, I quickly realized I was shorter than all of these other beings. I was to stand at the back of the room and at the end of the line. This is somewhat degrading, but it was the way things are done there. That's the way they think. Taller beings are higher up than shorter beings. I also got the feeling of that because I was human, I was even lower on the totem pole. There was a demonstration or something going on. After I stood at the back of the room, I noticed there was another abductee with me. I looked forward and there appeared to be many more of these beings with black skin than when I originally entered the room. Everyone was showing up there for a reason. Then they all started to move in one sequence as if they were performing a dance. They were moving in the same manner than we might perform a flowing dance or exercise like Tai Chi. They were supposed to be teaching the abductees, or at least me and the one other abductee who was there with me. But they were not really teaching us. As I tried to understand what they were doing, it suddenly dawned on me that we were going to have to learn this by copying and following their movements. And I told the abductee to my right, "Oh, I know now we are going to have to learn this by copying what they are doing. They are not teaching, we are going to have to learn by doing." And so we began to attempt to move our arms, legs, and bodies in the same manner that they were moving theirs. It was difficult to copy their movements because our arms lacked the extra joints. And I'm sure our legs lacked the extra joints and the extra bone as well. Since their legs were as long proportionally as their arms, their legs must have an extra joint in them as well. Anyway, it was almost impossible to move the same way they moved, but we did our best to learn the exercise. And this is where the story ends. You can read more into this. The credit will be left up on the screen. I hope you enjoy.